Every year, the gun world tells hunters to move on. A new caliber shows up, a new box design hits the shelf, and everyone says the old rounds are finished. But when July 2026 arrives and hunters start getting ready for deer, elk, moose, and bear season, one American cartridge still refuses to leave the top. It is not the newest, it is not the softest, it is not the flashiest, but it may still be the smartest all-around hunting caliber in the country. Before you chase another trend, there is one old round that deserves a serious look again. The caliber is the .30-06 Springfield, and its story starts long before modern hunting rifles, smart scopes, or internet ammunition debates. The name itself tells the beginning. The .30 points to the bullet size, and the .06 points to 1906, the year the United States military adopted the cartridge. That means this round is now about 120 years old. Yet it still sits in hunting rifles across America. Most cartridges do not last that long by accident. They survive because they solve real problems. The .30-06 was built in a time when a rifle round had to be strong, useful, and trusted. It was tied to the Springfield 1903 rifle, and later it became famous through rifles like the M1 Garand. Soldiers knew it. Families knew it. Hunters came home and carried it into the woods. That military past gave the .30-06 a strong start, but it did not become a hunting legend just because of history. Plenty of old military rounds faded away. The .30-06 stayed because it worked on real animals in real country. It moved from the battlefield into deer camps, ranches, mountain hunts, and family gun safes. Over time, it became one of the most trusted big game cartridges in America. That is the first reason it still matters in July 2026. The .30-06 does not need a marketing wave to prove itself. It has already survived every wave. A good hunting caliber has to do more than look good on paper. It has to work when the weather is bad, when the shot is not perfect, and when the hunter only has one rifle. The .30-06 earned its name because it could cover a wide range of game without needing a different rifle for every season. For whitetail deer, it has more than enough power. For mule deer, it has reach and weight. For elk, it can use strong bullets that carry enough energy for large animals. For moose and black bear, hunters have trusted it for generations with the right load and careful shot choice. It is not magic, and it does not replace skill, but it gives the hunter a wide margin of usefulness. That is what makes it different from many trendy calibers. Some new rounds are built for one clear job. One may be great for long-range target work. Another may have very low recoil. Another may fit a short rifle action. Those are real advantages. But most hunters are not trying to win a lab test. They want one rifle that can handle normal hunting life. The .30-06 fits that role because it sits in the middle of the power scale. It hits harder than many lighter deer rounds. It kicks less than many magnums. It shoots flatter than old slow brush rounds. It gives the hunter real power without turning every shot into a punishment. That middle ground is not boring. It is the reason the round stayed alive. July 2026 is the time when many hunters stop talking and start preparing. Deer season may still be months away in many states, but smart hunters are already checking rifles, looking at ammunition, and thinking about tags. Summer is when you want answers, not excuses. The ammunition market has also changed. Supply chains are better than the worst shortage years, but the market is still busy. New cartridges are fighting for shelf space. Factories have to choose which loads to make. Military ammunition work is focused on other rounds, including newer 6.8mm production for modern small arms programs. The .30-06 is not the main United States service round anymore. Today, it is mostly a civilian hunting and sporting cartridge. That can sound like a weakness, but it is also part of its strength. The .30-06 lives because hunters keep using it. Major companies still make it because the demand is real. Remington still lists many .3006 loads, including common hunting bullet weights. Hornady still supports it with modern precision hunter ammunition. Winchester and other major brands still keep it in hunting lines. That matters because a round that keeps factory support is easier to trust. A hunter does not want a rifle chambered in a cartridge that becomes hard to feed after the first wave of hype dies. The .3006 has seen hype come and go. It has outlasted generations of next big thing cartridges. Some people act like the .3006 is old, so it must be weak. That is wrong. A cartridge does not become harmless because it has a long history. The .3006 can still push .30 caliber bullets with serious energy. It may not beat the newest magnums in raw speed, but hunting is not only about speed. A hunting bullet has to reach the animal, enter well, expand correctly, and reach vital areas. That depends on the bullet, the distance, the animal, and the shooter. The .3006 gives hunters many bullet choices, which is one of its greatest strengths. For deer, lighter and middleweight bullets are common. For elk, many hunters move to tougher 165 grain, 178 grain, or 180 grain bullets. For larger animals, heavier options have long been part of the .3006 story. Current factory listings still show a wide range, which proves the market has not abandoned the old round. That bullet range is why the .3006 has always been a true generalist. It can be soft enough for normal deer hunting and strong enough for larger big game when matched right. A cartridge with only one narrow use cannot do that. This is also why it is dangerous to judge a caliber only by age. Bullet technology has changed. Modern bonded bullets, copper bullets, tip bullets, and controlled expansion designs have helped older cartridges perform better than they did decades ago. The case may be old, but the bullets loaded into it can be very modern. New calibers are not bad. Some are excellent. The 6.5 Creedmoor brought mild recoil and great accuracy to many shooters. The 7mm PRC gives hunters a modern long-range tool with sleek bullets. The .300 Winchester Magnum still gives serious power for big country. The .308 Winchester is practical, common, and easy to like. But the question is not which round wins one category. The question is which caliber makes the most sense for the most American hunters heading into July 2026. That is where the .3006 is hard to beat. The 6.5 Creedmoor is easy to shoot, but many hunters still prefer more bullet weight for heavier big game. The 7mm PRC is impressive, but it is newer and can be more costly or less common in small places. The .300 Winchester Magnum is powerful, but recoil can make some hunters shoot worse. The .308 is excellent, but the .3006 can push heavier bullets with a little more reach and power. The .3006 does not win by being perfect. It wins by being useful everywhere. It is the one that keeps showing up near the top no matter how the list is built. It may not be the softest, it may not be the fastest, it may not be the newest. But when you ask for one serious hunting caliber with history, power, ammunition support, and proven field use, the answer keeps coming back. That is why it deserves the #1 spot. The .3006 has recoil. It kicks more than the 6.5 Creedmoor and more than the .308 in similar rifle weights. New hunters may feel it. Smaller shooters may prefer a softer round. A lightweight rifle in .3006 can feel sharp from the bench, but recoil is not the same as failure. Many hunters have used the .3006 for a lifetime, because the recoil is still manageable for a lot of adults. The real issue is not pride. The real issue is honest fit. A hunter should use a rifle they can shoot well. If someone flinches badly with a .3006, a milder caliber may be the better tool. But for the hunter who can handle it, the .3006 gives a very strong return for the recoil it asks. That balance is why it lasted. The cartridge gives power without going too far. It asks for respect, but it does not punish the shooter like some heavy magnums can. One reason the .3006 became so big is that it fits many hunting lives. Whether pursuing whitetail in Midwestern woodlots, mule deer across open country, or larger game in heavy timber, the caliber adapts. A family that wants one main big game rifle can build around it. That does not mean one load works for every animal. It means the caliber gives options. This is where responsible hunting matters. A deer load is not the same as an elk load. A bear hunt demands more care than a simple range day. Local rules matter. Bullet choice matters. Distance matters. Shot placement matters. The .3006 gives the hunter room to choose correctly. That is better than forcing the same answer into every hunt. A good caliber should not lock you into one path. It should give you a strong base. That is what the .3006 does. This is also why it works well for families. A rifle chambered in .3006 can stay useful across many seasons and many types of hunts. It can sit in a safe for years, then return to the field without feeling outdated. That kind of trust is hard to buy with a new cartridge launch. There is one simple test many hunters understand better than any chart. If you travel for a hunt and forget your ammunition, what can you actually find? No one should plan poorly, but real life happens. Small towns do not always stock every new caliber. A big outdoor store may carry almost everything. A rural hardware store may not. This is where common calibers matter. The .3006 has a long advantage because so many rifles have been chambered for it. Stores have a reason to carry it. Hunters have a reason to ask for it. Companies have a reason to keep making it. That does not mean every exact load will be on every shelf. No one can promise that. Premium bullets may sell out. A certain grain weight may be missing. Prices may move. But compared with many newer or niche cartridges, the .3006 still has a strong support base. That support base is not exciting, but it is valuable. A hunting rifle is not useful if you cannot feed it. A cartridge that stays available gives hunters confidence. It also gives them a chance to practice, check zero, and keep the rifle ready before the season starts. The gun world often treats age like a weakness, but in hunting, age can mean proof. The .3006 has been tested by weather, hunters, factories, rifle makers, and time. It has lived through old woodstock rifles, modern synthetic rifles, iron sights, scopes, lead bullets, bonded bullets, copper bullets, and every kind of marketing cycle. A weak idea does not survive that long. A cartridge that no longer works does not stay in major factory catalogs. A round that hunters do not trust does not keep showing up in deer camps. The .3006 is not still here because people feel sorry for it. It is still here because it keeps doing the job. There is also something very American about its story. It started as a service cartridge, then became a hunting cartridge, then became a family cartridge. It moved from uniforms to flannel jackets, from training fields to deer stands, from military racks to farmhouses and mountain camps. That history gives it weight, but history alone would not be enough. The real reason hunters still carry it is simpler. When the season opens, it works. Calling it the #1 hunting caliber does not mean it is perfect. It is not the best choice for every person. It is not the mildest round for a brand new shooter. It is not the flattest long-range cartridge. It is not the cheapest centerfire round to shoot. It is not the most modern case design. It also should not be sold as a shortcut. No caliber makes up for unsafe hunting, poor judgment, or bad shot choice. A .3006 cannot turn a careless hunter into a good one. It cannot replace practice. It cannot ignore local laws. It cannot make every distance ethical. That matters because good hunting content should respect the animal and the audience. The .3006 is powerful, but power is only useful when it is controlled. The hunter still has to know the rifle, choose the right load, understand the distance, and take responsible shots. That is why the .3006 remains respected. It gives the hunter a serious tool, but it does not pretend to do the hunter's job. The .3006 wins because it brings together 5 things that rarely meet in one caliber. It has history, it has power, it has bullet variety, It has factory support. It has a record on real game. A new caliber may beat it in one area. A Magnum may hit harder. A smaller round may kick less. A modern long-range cartridge may fly better in the wind. A short-action round may fit in a lighter rifle. But when all the hunting needs are put together, the .3006 still stands near the center. That center is where most hunters live. Most hunters are not chasing extreme distance. Most are not hunting only one animal forever. Most do not want to pay premium prices for every trigger pull. Most want a rifle they can trust in normal hunting life. That is the .3006. Not perfect, not new, not flashy, just deeply useful. So why talk about it now? Because July is when smart hunters get ahead. They check the rifle before the last minute. They confirm what ammunition their rifle likes. They make sure they can get the load they trust. They think about the season before the season is close. This is not panic, it is preparation. If you already own a .3006, July is a good time to remember why it is worth keeping ready. If you are choosing one serious big game caliber, July 2026 is a good time to understand why this old round still belongs in the conversation. Do not let the internet make you think old means weak. Do not let hype make you forget what has worked for more than a century. The .3006 has already done what many new calibers are still trying to do. It has earned trust from hunters who could not afford excuses. When a cartridge survives since 1906 and still has major factory support in 2026, that is not luck. That is proof. The #1 hunting caliber every American hunter should understand in July 2026 is the .3006 Springfield. It is not the answer because it is trendy. It is the answer because it keeps making sense. For everything from standard deer seasons to large North American big game, and the real needs of a one-rifle hunter, it still offers one of the strongest blends of power, reach, choice, and trust in the American hunting world. New calibers will keep coming. Some will be great. Some will fade. But the .3006 has already passed the hardest test. It stayed useful when the trends changed, when the shelves changed, and when hunters changed. That is why it is still here. And that is why, heading into July 2026, this old American caliber is still the one to beat.